Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and our Kings were here. Dave Coldwell. Dave, something different today, stadium show. GBM are making huge strides and it's a good card.
Oh, it's a brilliant card. The 5 fights that have been announced today, exciting, 50-50s, top Terry Harper. For what she's done for the women's game and the career that she's had, real fights, setbacks, coming back, 3-time, 3-weight world champion.
Yeah.
She deserves this, boxing out in her hometown, football stadium, coming out, defending her world title belt there. She's earned the right, so I'm happy for her that she got that. But the undercard for me, Max Hughes against Archie Sharp, what a fight. Same thing for Maxie really. He's fought everybody. He's been the roadman to have a big fight, a proper fight, a 50-50 fight, again, football stadium, his hometown. Wow, it's brilliant. And at this stage of his career as well, because he's I think he said he's 35 tomorrow, he's deserved that.
He is, but you know what? He's getting better with age for me. I mean, he looks in terrific shape all the time, and look, I think if luck would have shown him a bit more, he'd have potentially had another, like a world title opportunity, but that's boxing. I want to talk to you about this weekend. I asked a few people about this Donovan Crocker situation. I got my ear chewed off a little bit by Sonny Edwards, and I get what he was saying actually, because I had a ringside view, not a TV view, and he was saying he absolutely, basically agreed with the referee on all the different things that happened, and that it was more of how Paddy was putting his head in rather than Crocker, hands up, head, walking forward. And the last shot, he says, yeah, it was way after the bell. I saw your comments on Twitter, and yours was sort of yours sort of maybe echoed mine a little bit. From what I was looking at, I thought both men were sort of using their heads a little bit, and I was surprised to see one man get the warnings and not the other. I know Paddy's, it seemed, has done the damage eventually, but it seemed they were both doing it. Just on reflection of you saw it from TV.
I still think the same. Crocker was leaning right over, just marching forward, leaning in with the head. And Donovan, if you look at Donovan's style, yes, he's a boxer, but he kind of like leans over on his front foot, so he's leaning. So when he's coming in to throw the shots, his head is going to rock forward a little bit. And I thought that's. And also, listen, Southpaw against Orthodox. How many times do we say about head clashes all the time? Now, there were little bumps quite consecutively throughout the fight, but it was from both fighters really. And like I said on my tweet, I felt as though there was only one fight that was getting pulled by it. I thought maybe you could have pulled both and said, listen lads, you keep watching your heads. But there wasn't none of that. In terms of the DQ at the end,
is that an accumulation, or is it a bang? No, that's done. I couldn't understand.
I think he probably did do it because of the points taken off as well, which I think is wrong, because I think it's a different rule break. A late blow is different to. So if it had been another headbutt that he wants to take off points off, and then he disqualified, then fair enough. But it's not 3 of the same. It was a different. However, it was after the bell. But then also, from a young fighter's point of view, you're in that moment, emotions, you're tearing away. You've just got clocked. Let's not. When Crocker was swinging, he actually caught Paddy on the way in, and he swings back, and in that momentum, he's thrown the finishing shot. Now, I've seen tweets where they've said, Crocker dropped his hands because he had the bell. No, he didn't. His hands were still up. And when he gets hit with the shot, the momentum dropped. But it's as he's getting hit the shot, he never dropped his hands and then got hit. So that makes me feel, well, did Crocker hear the bell as well? You don't know. The one man that would have known and would have been aware of the bells coming is the referee. So he should have been closer. And we've seen in fights before where the klaxon goes, and then the ref will lean into the two fighters saying, stop at the bell. Yeah. I've seen that many a time. Maybe he should have done that, or he should have been a bit closer. But he didn't, and so he can only judge on what's happened, and he's got every right to disqualify him. He has got every right. Now, I said on my Twitter that I felt it was harsh, and I felt maybe he could have given him 5 minutes to recover. I've had some people say, oh yeah, but he's not going to recover. Well, hang on a minute, fighters get dropped and get up on the same round, and by the end of the round, the backfight and the win the rounds. We've seen that before, so you can't say that. But John Pegg made a really good point, and I thought, oh yeah, I can see that, where he said, imagine if he'd have given him 5 minutes, Crocker carries on, then gets knocked out and he's in a bad way, then that's on the ref, and then does that leave the board open to be, having legal procedure and stuff like that. And when he said that, I was like, do you know what? Yeah, I get it. And this is where you can have a discussion and you can have difference in opinions, and it can be good because you can think, oh yeah, I didn't actually think it, because in the moment I didn't actually think of that. John makes me aware of it. I'm like, oh yeah, just like I might say something and somebody else will be like, oh yeah, well yeah, this is opinions. You don't have to, just because you don't agree with an opinion straight away, shoot it down and say, you're talking shit, you're this, you're that. Or as I get, shut the fuck up, you midget.
You know what? I've enjoyed your little Twitter troll clapbacks recently. It's more just like, oh, cheers, Bob, thanks.
I don't mind it because it's banner, it's a bit of fun, but it just highlights lack of brain cells some people have.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it is a forum where you can actually have a decent discussion, and that's what I'm saying about with John Pegg. Just so happens John Pegg knows something. Just so happens I might know something as well, but we can have different opinions and see things different ways.
Well, this is why yesterday it'll be released, I think, this evening. Myself and Radio Raheem did almost like a breakdown, because he saw it on TV at home. I saw it from where the ring is, not dead centre, to the right, cameraman here. So you sort of sometimes trying to look through the ropes to make sure you're seeing everything. And the perception was from many of us ringside, not just myself. So some of my mates said different on TV, but I said it looked like they were both doing it. But look, great fight, good atmosphere. Let's see it back.
Got to say, this takes away from just how brilliant Paddy Donovan was. He was outstanding, like really, really good. And it's not like he was on his bike shooting and using his range and using his footwork. He stood right in front of him. Yes, he used cute footwork, but he stood right in front of Crocker. Yeah. So Crocker can't even come out with an excuse saying, oh, he got on his bike and he did this and he did that. I just couldn't nail it. He was right in front of you.
I was going to say, what impressed me was, I think people thought Paddy would stick and move because he's a good boxer, but what he actually did he did use his feet, but he almost was just pivoting round in the same spot the whole time, and credit to Andy Lee, I think the game plan was bob on.
Yeah, brilliant, but just all round fantastic. I thought he was very, very good, and I was, if you want me to be honest, I was disappointed in Crocker in the fact that even when he was up close, he didn't let his hands go. Now I know he's feeling the series of shots as well, but even early doors, I understand that he didn't want to leave the gaps for Donovan's sharpshooting, but when he's there, it didn't do anything really, and that allowed Donovan to get into a rhythm, and as he's accumulating punches, it zaps away Crocker's strength and the ability to then go down the stretch.
I want to talk about what happened sort of 4 in the morning after that, Gervonta Davis. So, I've not seen...
He don't want to box anymore.
Gervonta?
Yeah, I think he just strikes me as having as a fellow who's all his real ambition to be a great fighter, or it just looks like he can't be arsed.
So I watched the highlights, so I'm not pretending I've seen the whole fight. It looked like Lamont Roach moved up in weight and was more than comfortable at the weight. And I think when fighters move up, you know yourself better than anyone. It can sometimes zap you of energy, you feel better in certain departments, maybe slow you down but feel more stronger. He looked like it suited him, and I don't think it's necessarily that Gervonta, I don't know, did he overlook him, did he not? What I wanted to ask you mainly was the taking of the knee. Now, I don't disagree with him that the reason why he took a knee, because he didn't seem hurt before and it was almost like something was in his eye. But from my understanding in boxing was, if you take a knee, that should be 10-8 round, depending on the rest of the round goes, and classed as a knockdown. And in many people's eyes, that would have swung it to Lamont Roach in what was a close fight. What did you make of that incident?
It's a knockdown. You've took an knee. You can't. So we can all come out with that one. Well, I can't because I don't have air gel, so I couldn't use that one. But yeah, my moisturiser's got in my eye. But yeah, you can't just turn around whenever you want and just take a knee, because then anyone can do it for any reason, and you can bluff saying, "Oh, I'm just taking out," but really I just got buzzed with a shot. It's bullshit. So yeah, it should have been a knockdown, and I thought. I thought I was a bit disappointed in Davis. And I think he was shocked that even when he did land on Roach, he took the shots and fired straight back. There was one where I think he lands a good shot and then he gets nailed with a big shot back that stumbles him back, and it's like almost like a surprise on his face. I think, I was disappointed in him.
We've seen a lot of the past few weeks. I'm not caught up here over Eubank Benn yet, but excited. Big event coming up. I thought the press conferences, particularly the first, because I was there, was fantastic. What have you made of the whole scenario? And it's shaping up to be an event.
Oh, it's an event. It's a huge event, and it's a mainstream event. I was working the presser for the Ring and Sky's feed, and when they were face to face, I'm looking at the little square stage that they stepped onto, and I'm looking at Connor because I'm thinking you're going to give it a double-handed straight in your chest, and I'm thinking is Chris going to fall off the edge here or will skew to get him? And then it was Chris that went. From my side, from where we stood, we just thought it was a left up, like open-handed but left up. And I was like, what? I was genuinely shocked, like really, because he's so calm, cool, so calm. Never expected that. And then we was interviewing Ben Shalom, and he mentioned the egg, and then we saw the angle.
Full coat, full.
Oh God. And then it's funny,
Until it's
but
not, yeah.
but I think it'd been funny, and it wouldn't have been a bad thing if he'd have done it in his chest. If he'd just smashed that egg on his chest, then it has the same effect, sort of thing. You're saying the same thing, but you're not touching his face. I don't agree with fighters touching the face, slapping, punching the face. I don't agree with that.
I mean, we all joked about it after, and I think it's because there was nothing serious that come of it. But obviously, if he'd have caught that or cracked it in his eye, it could have. No, I'm saying if he misses his cheek and
he did it on a point. It wasn't. He did it on a. Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, I've seen that where I'm saying, oh, he could have blinded, could have got in his eye, could have. But no, because he does it at a point where it's right round the side of his head. So, but he still touches his face. He shouldn't do that. I think it was out of order doing that. But he did it, and now it's just made it even crazier. And Eubank's a master of getting people talking about him. The thing that I found funny was the fact that he'd got this jacket that's probably about 10 grand's worth, and he's packed his pocket with about 4 eggs.
I think he said to the BBC, he asked him how many he had, and I don't know that he was taking the piss, but he goes, about 8, and someone goes, any of them smash? He goes, a couple. And I just thought, wow, like, can you imagine wearing your best Louis V and it just going everywhere?
I know, that shows you how much money he's got. But yeah, has it got everybody talking about it? Yeah. Is there going to be serious demand to watch this fight? Yeah. The fight only came about because of the dads' names.
Yeah.
Now, it's taken on whole new wings, different set of wings, because it's the two characters and personalities. They generally don't like each other. They're generally going to go at each other, and it's intriguing. It really is.
Last one for me. This fight in New York, middle of Times Square. What we're going to see next? I know they're talking about Alcatraz, but apparently it's just the 3, and it's rumored to be on the same week as Canelo. I think it was on the day after or whatever. But this is in the middle of Times Square. You've got Teofimo, Devon, Ryan Garcia, all on the same card. You gonna go?
It's amazing. I'd like to, but I don't know. What date is that again?
Oh, don't. I can't remember. May, early May, like May 2nd or something.
Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, it'll be to Cinco de Mayo, won't it?
Yeah.
That around that sort of time, if it's to do it at.
And then Canelo's on either the day after or the day after.
Right. See, I'd like to, but no, I ain't gonna go to that. Have you seen? Do you know Times Square? It surprised me actually how small it was. I thought Times Square was huge, but it's not that big. It'll be condensed and rammed for that one. It'll be unbelievable.
Dave, can't wait. It's an exciting couple of months coming up in boxing.
I just think it is. I just think that boxing's just taking itself on a new lease of life. It's exciting. It's great. It's good times.
Fantastic, Dave. Appreciate it as always. Thank you.